H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas, but we're broadcasting all over the world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Wow, it's Tuesday. What she said, I should have said, somebody's just on the Facebook feed, just, I look, it's a big screen. I keep telling y'all it's a big screen. I'm seeing your comments. And I'm going to start tuning y'all out a little bit. But I'm so thankful for this day. Great Tuesday. A lot of stuff going on. But let me recognize my starting five. Starting five, I got to recognize them. They are the first 5 people that signed on to the Chop Shop today. And via Facebook Live or YouTube Live, they're all in order right here. Thad Moody, Chris Charles, Derek Johnson, Jessica Brooks, Corey Henderson. Oh, my goodness. Corey, I don't know if that's one of your first time. And my 6th man of the day is my man, Gary Sinclair. What's going on, everybody? Let me tell you something, y'all. Let me see who's else here. Let me go down. Let me see. I see my girls. I got to check out my girls. Dale Griggs, Kevin Drones, Coach Drones. Shadow Creek's finest is in the building. Dallas Moody, I got something for you too, buddy. I got something for you. You got to tell me about this one. Dr. John Newsome is in the building. Alfio Beasley, Texas University finest in the building. Robert Risen, Mindy Collins, Jeremy Davis, just everybody. Kim Jackson, Tiffany. Tiffany, the one was messing with me, y'all. Y'all get her. What's up, Trey Phillips? It's Taco Tuesday. You know what? LeBron ain't been saying it, so I ain't been thinking about Taco Tuesday no more, but I might make some tacos today. That's Rosie. Rosie, where you been? Rosie, you got to understand, Rosie. In this pandemic, you got to send us a text saying I'm all right or something, because I haven't heard from you in a long time. What's up, Victor Givens and Mr. Watts? I haven't seen Mr. Watts in a long time. Man, where y'all been, man? In this pandemic, y'all got to check in. You know, I was worried about people. We lost a couple of people from the Chop Shop this year due to COVID. A matter of fact, Alfio feeds his best friend, Lionel Garr. So, hey, man, it might not, but man, this is a tight community, man. Let me tell y'all something. I pray for y'all. I pray for you and your families all the time. So let me tell you something. Hey, we got something going on too. You don't even have to like me. I'm still praying for you. So it's all right. So, hold on. Tiffany Sanders Tiffany, my bad. Hold up, y'all. This is for Tiffany Sanders. Hold on. This just for Tiffany. Nobody but Tiffany. Hey, Karen. But you know what? I didn't know. Some days, I just know what I'm gonna start the show with. But I wonder, should I tell who he is? College coach. I'll say your college coach. Great friend of mine. He just texted me one night out of the blue sky this weekend. College head coach. I know college head coach. You know it ain't but 352 or 350 of them on the whole planet. So he texted me the other night and he said, Hatter, I hope your topic, what's up, Darryl Barnes? Check this out. I hope your topic on the Chop Shop is that it isn't a team. Hold up. See, when these folks text me, y'all it just be different. Y'all don't know how these texts, there's typos in the text sometimes, but I might have read him wrong. I ain't got my glasses on today. He said, I hope the topic on the Chop Shop is that this isn't the team that Paul Silas Jr. signed up to coach. Okay. He'll get fired in another year, and then they'll get another retard. Excuse me. I was to say retard. Retread. Excuse me. Then he said that Texans put the black coach out there to take the hit. Make him look like Uncle Tom. Clearly, in 2 years, his faith is the same as Silas. Then he put a hashtag up on. He texted me this. Black people stay woke. I said, okay. Then I said, you know what I'm saying? You know how I am, man. What the hell you tell me? What are you talking about? Then he said, the Rockets' plan was this all along. We just thought Mike D'Antoni wasn't the guy. He's smarter than we thought. You know, we thought maybe this is what he's saying. Maybe this was the Rockets' plan all along, and D'Antoni wasn't with it. He said maybe he's smarter than he thought. These not my words. I'm just sharing. Then he said Houston sports is so easy to read. One of the best sports cities there is. I repeat that. I live here. I talk a lot of stuff, but one of the best sports cities there is. I choose to live here. I'm from Memphis. I choose to live here. One of the best cities I've lived in the world. I've been all over the world. So when I always remember, I pay taxes in Texas, in Houston. But he said Houston sports is easy to read. One of it, he says, a travesty. What's going on here, Mr. Hatter? He says, weird. The Rockets think more about, wait a minute, the Rockets think about where more mom and pop thinking is where more mom and pop organization. For the people, he said the Rockets, I guess, used to be what it used to be. People like Carol Dawson, Les Alexander. You know, Les Alexander was a little eccentric to me too, but he, you know, is he better? They were more engaging. Carol Dawson was engaging. Then he says the Texans been like that for the jump. The Oilers was different. He said, I wasn't living in the H yet. Y'all catch, as a college coach, they used to live in Houston. He don't live in Houston no more. So he just went on and on. I'm trying to find the rest of his text because I didn't. Hold up, I'm trying to find the rest because this is our city, man. And what's going on with our professional sports? That was all he said. And what's going on with our professional sport? That's not fair to the fans in this city. It's just not. Kevin Allen, you make me sick. Kevin Allen, boy, he knows who I was talking about. Y'all so messy on this boom boom room. But I just wanted to share that with y'all. What y'all think? Especially the fans. If you're not a fan, Daddy Moody, I ain't forgot about you. I got something for you. but if you, he wrote that to me, man, the other night, and I'm sitting up there saying, okay. And it was just a unique thing, man. It's hold up, I got something else for you. We're a living testimony. Check this out. Hold on. I got this on Twitter. I forgot who to give credit to, but they said we are a living testimony to what is written in the nation's first black newspaper. I don't know if y'all know the nation's first black newspaper was called Freedom's Journal. On March 16th, 1927. Excuse me, 1827. I'm sorry. March 16th, 1827. I should have did this Monday, but hey, it's okay. We wish to plead our own cause. Too long others have spoken for us. That's why this show is so important. That's why I talk about it, Landon. I know it's just me and Jimmy, but I keep trying to explain to y'all it's the platform. We have people that's been through the same. I've been a parent, just like every one of you parents in this AAU circle. So when I'm talking from the community, from our point of view. We got guys we bring on the show. We had the assistant, check this out. We had the assistant coach of our high school, not the head coach. He'd been on here before. This show allowed an assistant coach from a high school to come on and spend almost an hour on this platform. Nowhere else in the world that's happening. So I just want us to just respect and understand what we have. It wasn't the forward's time. No, 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 no. Forward times, Daryl Bishop. I said 1827. You do me a favor. I'm doing the show, Daryl Bishop. Go on your Google, because you're not doing the show. Do me a favor. Just go on your little Google machine. Go on your Google machine and Google when the forward times was made. No, I'm just helping you. Okay. Oh, we got jokesters on it. Okay. We got jokes. Okay. I'm gonna let y'all joke. I'm gonna let you joke. But y'all, I saw an interesting story. It's getting to be March Madness. I saw an interesting story because the people, they were mentioning early upsets in the NCAA. And I'm gonna wait till Jimmy get here. We gotta talk about Beaumont United today. I'm not getting off the show without talking about Beaumont United. So y'all, yeah, I got him today. You know, people, hey, it's so bad. I'm trying to redo my computer over here. It's acting crazy. My other one. That's why he's supposed to have a couple of them. But I'm not gonna let it go by. It's people even tagging me in post, Melvin Dudes, about Beaumont United. But we were talking about, because soon, y'all gonna be filling out y'all brackets. I think you got up into early Thursday morning or whatever time they fill out your brackets. And I encourage everybody to fill out one. Let's just see. And I think Melvin Dews put us all in. I'm gonna try to find the link, and I hope he's here so he can post it, so all of us can share in this thing, and we'll know it. But they were talking about early upsets in this thing, and they mentioned he said Hatter is serious when he speaks on history. Oh yes, I am. Thank you, Alfio Beasley. Alfio Beasley said, for your information, and Daryl, it's okay. But when I'm speaking on history, because I knew, and Daryl, and I know I haven't seen your name on the show that much, but when I speak on history, especially about my people, I am very serious about it. It's not a joke. Because it's a lot of stuff that I wish, Daryl, I had to learn when I was a young man. Maybe people were joking around and didn't give it to me. What's up, Ray Moore from Memphis, Tennessee? They didn't give it to me, and I wish they had. So, I mean, this is a fun show, but Daryl, facts about Black history are very, very, very important. Very, very important. And very, very important to me. So if you don't want to hear, you can click off that moment, and we can get back on, because it's not a joke. Nothing against you, but it's just not a joke. It's not a joke. All right. So in the meantime, we were talking about March Madness. I'm talking about March Madness because I'm gonna wait on Jimmy to get on. I don't feel right talking about high school sports, and I don't have the high school sports guru on the show. I mean, I can have y'all. We'll talk a little bit about it, but let me get you this March Madness point on out the way. Let me get it out the way. They talk about early upsets. This is where I need Thaddeus Moody. Thaddeus Moody. When I mention this name, I want you to say something immediately. Don't wait, because you're on a 10-second delay. Don't wait. They said, I don't know who they playing against. They said, watch out for the University of Ohio. Not Ohio State. Ohio. First round upset. I don't know who they playing. Somebody can look it up and find out who they playing for me. And they said, UC Santa Barbara. I'm just helping you out in your brackets. UC Santa Barbara. Then hold up. Got another one for you. Winthrop College. Yes, that is Moody. Let me tell you something about, y'all look at that as Moody's. I'm going to show you how cold he is. Look what he put up there. And to all the AAU parents, To all the summer basketball parents, y'all need to share this. Y'all need to talk. I ain't had a chance to share the show because I've been talking. I'm finna give you a name. That is Moody. He didn't call his name out. But let me tell you something, y'all. Hold up. Let me sign into this computer. I didn't sign in. I think I did. Hold on. I got something for y'all now. I'm trying to give y'all a chance to share the show with your friends. It blew me away this morning. Blew me away. Remember, Winthrop, in your brackets, look up Winthrop. Think about it. UC Santa Barbara, Yes, Kenneth Lofton, in Ohio. Let me tell you why I said that. Thank you, Jason. He say St. Bonaventure will be. And by the way, Melvin Dews has posted it. Melvin, could you post it in the YouTube page also, and post it in the Facebook page? Melvin Dews has posted the Chop Shop Bracket Challenge. Okay? We're going to see who's going to win. I'm going to figure out a gift for you. All right. So hold up now. Hold up. I got something for you now. That little boy, Jalen Preston. Okay, we ready? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you about this little boy. He's from Orlando. Okay? Mama died 5 years ago. He went to live with the mama's friend. Young kid, little skinny kid in high school, averaged 2 points a game in high school. Parents, listen to me. Y'all need to, Sonia Billinger, y'all need to share this right now. I'm trying to tell y'all. And listen, I want you to listen to the spirit of what I'm about to tell you. Check this out. He enrolled as a regular student in UCF, University of Central Florida, in Orlando. A regular story. Thank you, Barry. Barry, we ain't talking about the favorites. We talking about the upsets, man. We talking about the upsets. Okay? Follow me, Barry. Barry, follow me. Now, this is a great story. I know you want to be singing. Go on, put your stuff up there. He was an unsigned senior. He already enrolled in college, right? He went to an AAU tournament. They needed some players. They didn't have that many players to play the whole game. And it wasn't but 5 players. They played the whole game. Landon. I'm going to pin it. I can't do but one thing at a time. Just hold on. Hold on. I got you, Melvin Dukes. I got you. Wait on Jimmy to get here. I can't pin and talk at the same time. I can't multitask like some lady said yesterday. Y'all got to hear this now. So during this AAU tournament, okay, played all the minutes because it was but 5 players. He got some interest from UNC Asheville, but they didn't have scholarships though. They didn't have scholarships. So they recommended that he do what? Go to a prep school. Kevin Freitman, you got to hear this one, y'all. She's here, Angie Holcomb. But Angie Holcomb, check this story out. I want y'all to tell this to all your unsigned seniors. It might not work out for them this way, but y'all got to hear this. Only 5 players on the AAU team. They played. He got some interest from UNC Asheville. They didn't have a scholarship, so they recommended, man, go to prep school. Okay? They recommended. People around here tell you don't go to prep school. I don't know. I'm not the high school basketball guru. Okay? What's up, Tony Sanders? Hold on, Tony. I got something for you now. Got something for you. Hold on. He went to prep school. He went to prep school. He was on A team first, okay? But the coach that brought him in, he left and went and took another job within 3 weeks. The coach that brought him in to the prep school, it's called the Believe Academy in Tennessee. He brought him in, and he left. So the other coaches didn't know him that good. Jason Preston. Google him, Jason Preston, right? So why not prep? Seems it only makes you better. Okay, thank you. I'm just telling you, some people frown on prep schools. Okay, all right. He was on the A team, y'all. They nobody know him. So he asked if he could play on the C team because his roommates was getting all the burn on the C team. He was on the bench on the A team. Y'all, check this out. He played well on the C team. Matter of fact, real well. So they was riding back on the bus. 8-hour bus ride. Prep schools, now, Sonya, prep schools is a grind. It's not paradise. If y'all watching Last Chance U, JUCO, you got to really love that game to go to prep school and to go to JUCO. The young man said on an 8-hour bus ride back on a trip, he asked the coach for film of the game he was playing. So he screenshot all the clips and made a mixtape. He screenshot all of his clips and made a mixtape. Check this out. Prep school is a high school, but it's a grind also. Darryl Bishop. Prep school. Darryl, Google it, man. Google it. Prep school is a high school. I call it the 13th grade. Well, some call JUCO. It's different. Prep school and JUCO is different. Okay, Google it. All right. Got something else for y'all. He posted it on Twitter. And Ohio and Longwood reached out and offered him. So all you people talking about them kids, they mixtapes don't matter. The mixtapes don't matter. The mixtapes don't matter. The mixtape don't matter. Okay. A-team coach started to notice it. He went back up to the A-team. This kid averaged Kim Jackson 2 points in high school. Unsigned senior. And check this out. Somebody called me this morning and told me Jason Preston has a chance to be a first-round draft pick. Unbelievable. Had to tell that story. Not to give nobody no false sense of, this gonna happen to everybody. I just want to give you something to look forward to when Ohio plays, whoever they play. Did anybody find out? Everybody want to, and the reason I mentioned Thaddeus Moody earlier, the man almost had a 31-point triple-double on the Fighting Illini, one of the top teams in the whole NCAA tournament. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Jason, y'all guess what they call him, y'all? This is why I want y'all to watch. They call him Virginia. Now check this out. Thank you, Kevin Allen. They call him the LaMelo Ball of this NCAA tournament because he averaged 16 points a game, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. So he didn't got some triple doubles before. But go back, y'all, and look at what he did to Thaddeus Moody's fighting Illini. The same school that Nick Anderson went with, too. Kendall Gill and D. Brown. Io, what is his name? Io. Unbelievable. Unbelievable story. But let me tell y'all something. Their first round opponent is Virginia. Virginia right now is in the COVID protocol. And they got up until 6 o'clock today to determine if a team falls out of the tournament or not. Through COVID. 6 o'clock today. Okay? If they don't fall out 6 o'clock today and they have a positive COVID test during the tournament, there are no replacements. It's just a forfeit. And the next team move on. Like Texas didn't have to play Kansas and moved on. Congratulations, y'all, to Wesley Yates. Man, before this break, I got Wesley Yates. Wesley Yates been toiling through this season, toiling through the rankings, toiling through this thing, hearing people on the chop shop, hearing me. I don't know about Beaumont United. And see, in Wesley Yates, you got to always give me the benefit of the doubt. I'm not Doug Jones. I'm not Jeffrey Day. I'm not Jim Hicks. Those are those guys' job. It's to watch your son's progress in high school. I only watch him if I think he's a pro prospect. And some pro scouts telling me, Hatter, call me. Hatter, what you think about this guy? That's when I get to watch him. So we got different functions, y'all. We think about it. We got guys can watch your kids from junior high all the way throughout the pro prospects if you're a pro. And pro mean overseas also. But man, I shout out to Beaumont United. Man, let me because I didn't know how good y'all was. I never seen you play. I saw a video. I saw a game. Watching games on TV. I mean, on the TV and on the thing. I didn't get a feel. I know y'all were athletic. Y'all were well coached. I know more about the coach than I knew about the players. Why? Coach used to coach at Hightower. Why Hightower? He coached a kid that played on my summer basketball team. A couple of kids, I think, that played on my summer basketball team long time ago. So of course I know about the coach. Man, but let me tell you something. The stuff that y'all did up there, matter of fact, y'all saved Houston. Y'all saved what they call this, the greater Houston area. Because without y'all, we wouldn't have had nothing to stick our chest out about. And man, I know Doug Jones. Some of the players, I used to see Doug rank these players high. I didn't know the players. So I didn't understand because I'd never seen them. But let me tell you something. That young man, Terrence Arsenault, I don't know about y'all. Been around this game a long time. In the state championship game, when you hit a three-pointer, if you miss this three-pointer, y'all go home in regulation. You send it into overtime. Then, at the end of overtime, you hit the shot to send Kimball and Dallas home. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. It's just that's why I had to throw it in yesterday. I know we had a Duncanville coach on yesterday, but guess what? I wanted to talk about Beaumont United, but out of respect for the coach, we had that coach on. But let me tell you something, young men, and I hope one of y'all watching this, man, I am so proud of. I'm just so proud of you. I just don't know. And you've been getting favor on this show all the time, because of Doug Jones connection, Jimmy Hicks connection. Y'all just had to make a believer out of me because I never seen you. I ain't never rode up to Beaumont to watch no game. I'm telling you, this year I wasn't riding nowhere, if you know. And a lot of stuff happened. And a lot of reasons I haven't seen a lot of these players because I wasn't in the gym. Last year I was in the gym. I saw more players than I ever saw in my whole life in Houston. Last year I saw more players. And then pandemic came, and I just wanted to give these young guys, just in case your fans can't never say the Chop Shop. If you just go back and look at the videotape or talk to Wesley Yates, Beaumont United has always remain the top of Jimmy's rankings. They always was the apple of Doug's eye, and not to say Doug, but he live in that area, and I'm proud of him. I mean, I thought about him last night. I watched it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take a break, but I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show you. Let me show y'all a little bit about. Hold up, I got it somewhere. Let me show y'all some of the big shots that Terrace Arsenal and his team would make. And parents, I saw some of your videos y'all posted. Somebody posted, but if it's got some music on it, and music is not copyrighted, they'll cut the show off. So I can't play some of your. I see a lot of your stuff, but if they got all of that old that crazy music. I mean, not crazy music. If they got that music on it, I can't play it. So, Chop Shop, we'll be back in a minute. Check this out.
everyone. Tammy Allen here, your relationship coach. Tell me, do you and your partner feel like you're struggling to communicate and have begun living like roommates? No need to worry. I can teach you new, healthy communication skills to improve your relationship. I provide coaching via teleconferencing from the convenience of any location, including your own home. Call me today to schedule your first appointment at 713-597-4499, or you can find more information at my website, www.allencounselinggroup.com. I look forward to working with you. Hey there.
Welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks. I don't know where he is, but I know this morning he was getting, y'all got to remember, give him a little time, because he's coming, because we got a guest coming on, a powerful guest coming on at 1 o'clock. Oh my God, Gary Charles will be back. The guy with the hat and the bow tie will be back today, talking about stuff. So I get a chance. I want to know, somebody give me, I posted it and nobody gave it to me. I want to, other than Coach Green, I wanted to know the whole coaching staff. I wanted to shout out the whole coaching staff of Beaumont United. And could anybody tell me, Beaumont United used to be something else and now it's United with what? Tell us about the United, because did they merge with another school or something? Give us the history of the call, because it used to be Ozan or something. Could anybody give me the history? See, I know y'all on a 10-second delay, but I gave y'all that a long time ago. I just want to know some of the names of the coaches so I can see Central and Ozan. Rick Wilmore said Central and Westbrook. Somebody is wrong. It's Central and Ozan. Okay, I believe you, Wesley Yates. Uh, Central and Ozan. Okay, all right. Okay, okay. Uh, it's amazing, man. I mean, these kids. I don't know what was the history of why they merged, or what the attendance. I don't know the history, but I'm like I said, I'm just glad to hear. I mean, any other stories? I heard some stories about the Kimball parents or the Kimball fans was talking crazy to the Beaumont fans right before Terrence hit the shot. At which time, doing overtime period or the regular game period? I just want to know. It's I just want to know. Y'all tell me. I mean, that's a heck of a story. You know, these kids, y'all done been through hurricanes, floods, and I mean, I forgot what city. It might have been Beaumont. I poured off this city. Me and Jimmy, we came up there and brought the truck. What, I forgot what city. I've been in so many cities, and and just I just love the middle school that facilitate the 18-wheeler. The principal, I enjoyed the principal, and I mean, it was just, man, it was a few years ago, but I am just so proud of that area up there because they've overcome so much, and I hope that made the community, I hope that made the community feel, you know, a lot better. I mean, hold up. Your kids went 31-0. Thank you, Wesley Yates. Head coach is the assistant head coach, Tremaine Hancock. What's up, Tremaine? Tell Tremaine I gave my shout out to sister Keithan Hancock. Oh, two brothers, the Hancock brothers. Harvey Bobs. I think Harvey Bobs, Joseph Fontenot, and Jimmy Weaver. Man, shout out to them guys, man. You know, they had the little suit, they had the suit and ties. I mean, I know Coach Green gonna demand that anyway. Uh, but they had the shirt and ties on. I mean, I love seeing that, and they went up and thank you for saving the greater Houston area, and shout out to y'all. So uh, did did I do well, Melvin Dews? Uh, did we get it? Did I get it right, Melvin Dews? I know I got to do them right. Uh, I got Jimmy be on in 10 minutes. I know I got to y'all. Let me tell y'all something. It's some funny stuff going on over here with my telephone. Awesome game. David Green. Oh, David is from Sylvie. Shout out to Silsby. But you know I talked about Sylvie already, Brandon. But hey, Brandon, you're right. Shout out to Sylvie. That's where David Green came from. Shout out to Sylvie. I love David Green. Y'all, yeah, I got it already. I text somebody else, but thank God for Wesley Yates. Wesley Yates, man, you got to be a proud pappy, man. You got to be a proud daddy, man. Man, I'm sitting there listening. I mean, I remember I watched the game and Wesley didn't do so well, and you said he didn't do that well that game. That I mean, I'm all of this stuff is conjuring up to me right now, and I'm just saying, hey, this great. I mean, it's unbelievable, man. But I know we. I mean, I'm serious, y'all. I'm just thinking about that area. Uh, I'm just thinking about that area, and I'm thinking about the dads and the moms that watch this show because of Wesley Yates. Uh, uh, Somebody just sent me some. Uh, Wait a minute. Hatter, that is his nephew. Who is who? Somebody just sent me a text. Hey, y'all, when y'all send me a text, remember I'm on a 10-second delay from y'all. So what I said 20 seconds ago, I don't know. You got to write the whole text out. Y'all know who y'all are. I ought to tell it on it. But Beaumont is a part of this city. They call it the Greater Houston area. So shout out to Beaumont. But y'all, I saw something else. I got something because we're gonna talk to a man. I want to prep y'all a little bit. You know, I want to have y'all ready because I want your questions ready when Gary Charles get here. Look up the ABIS. I follow them on Twitter. A lot of the information that I get about college coaches. Y'all remember the other day when I put those college coaches that should be getting a job. Oh, Wesley Yates is Walter Yates' nephew. No, it's not. Wait a minute. Don't tell me that's no. Hold on. Y'all got to tell me this. Hold on, Wesley. No. Wesley Yates Jr. is Walter Yates any kin to y'all? You know how we said long time. Any kin? I knew there wasn't no kin, man. Come on, man. No. Wesley Yates is all the way different from Walter Yates. No, Walter don't get mad. Walter gonna get mad at him. He gonna get the mad. No, I mean different in a unique way. Okay? See, y'all done got me in trouble. My Texas done got me in trouble. But that's good to know though, because we got 2 Yates on the Facebook feed, and Messy Kim Jackson, and my niece is in the building. Okay, Tanya Billings. Hey, Wesley Yates, we're about to give you an interview. Mr. Yates, is Wesley your son or your nephew? You said nephew a week ago. No. Oh, you talking to Walter Yates. Because I know, hey, Mr. Yates, not Walter Yates, Wesley Yates Jr., is your son Wesley Yates III? I want to know that for a reason. Wes is my son. So he's the third. Okay, he's the third. The reason I said that, Mr. Yates, I am the third. So me and your son got something in common. My son is the fourth. So, hey, we keeping that. So I told my son, it's on you now, Doc. I didn't pass it off now. I got that monkey off my back. So my granddad, my dad, me, and then my son. So, man, that's glad to hear, man. Thank you so much. I didn't know that. Now, your son is a state champion, and nobody can never take that from him. And from the looks at when I listen to Doug and them tweets, and these guys out here tweeting, they got a chance to be just as good next year. And like I said before my man get on Gary Charles, I don't know if he gonna talk about it, but I want to share this with y'all a little bit, cause the exploitation of college athletes. Okay, and I know I've talked about this before, but a wise man told me one time. He said, Robert, faith comes by hearing, and hearing the word of God. So sometimes we have to hear stuff over and over for us to process. But in 40 of our 50 states, okay, check this out. On 40, hey, well, y'all, hey, you know what, Kim, you always talking about stay on task. But Kim, let me explain to you, Kim. I got a big screen right behind where all of y'all comments hit me in the face. Y'all comments about this big, Kim, real big. I'm telling you, I wish I could turn the camera around so you can see how big it is. So they just pop up at me. So I try not to look at y'all. I try not to look. And then Corey Henderson just putting his name up there. All of y'all get Corey's number. All of y'all need to get Corey's number and text him. But he gonna put it on this. He gonna put it on this feed. He want everybody to have it. He coaching Dallas. Everybody got his number. Let me explain something to y'all. Maybe some of y'all know it. So if some of you know it, all y'all know it, then y'all stop your ears up. I'm just talking about college exploitation. And I know Gary gonna talk about it a little bit, and it's gonna go hand in hand. And I want y'all to be equipped. So when y'all answer some of these, when y'all ask them some questions, I want y'all to be critical when y'all ask a few questions. Let me share some stuff about the NCAA. And y'all probably know it, but some people might not know it, okay? Some people might know it, okay? All right, check it out. In 40 of our 50 states, the highest paid employee is the college football or the college basketball coach, okay? All right, follow me, okay? Going somewhere. Not only are the athlete denied their share of the riches that they create. Coaches, who we're going to be talking about later, that's why I say I want y'all to be critical. The coaches in 40 of our 50 states are the highest paid state employees. Okay? You got that? Okay. Repeat again. Not only are the athletes denied to share in these riches they create, but they are not given the education that they were promised. All right? Oh, boy, they noob. We got noops on here. We got anything. We got some dogs, some cute dogs on here. We got some noops on here. Okay. Check this out. Walter Yates, I need you to help me. Corey Henderson, this right up y'all's alley. Y'all should be saying, hey man, right now. All right. I said, but the athletes are not even given the education they were promised. Jonathan, Walk with me. This is a $15 billion exploitation situation, Derrick Johnson. Check it out now. Derrick Johnson all the way over there. Where my girls at? Let me talk to my women. Let me see. Kim, I know she on here. Let me look and see what woman on here. I'm finna talk to Sonya on in the building. I like to talk to my girls. Come on, man. Let me see who else on. Jessica Brooks. All y'all. No, I didn't freeze, Daryl. Your device froze. My device still working over here, baby. All right, check this out. A music student, Sonya, Jessica, can get paid for recording a song. Okay? An English student, in addition, to their scholarship, can get paid to write a book. Landon, check this out now. College athletes. I know you might don't. Daryl, that's why I said, you know it alls like you. Y'all stop up y'all ears. You know it all. Some people don't know it all. These student athletes can't take a free meal. If they do, they get suspended. Never forget, Tiger Woods and Arnold Palmer went to lunch. I hope you knew this too, Daryl. They went to lunch. And Tiger Woods, Stanford suspended Tiger Woods for a tournament. He suspended Tiger Woods for a tournament because Arnold Palmer paid for a $17 lunch for Tiger. This college sports. The kids can't even take a free meal. Now remember, the coaches in 40 states of the 50 states are doing what? Are the highest paid public employees. Unpaid athletes getting fined by billion-dollar organizations and they get paid by sponsors to decorate these same athletes with their corporate logos. Hey, Kim Branch, everybody, I want my son to have a scholarship. I want my son to go here. We got which D1 a bus? D1 a bus. But know what you're sending your son into. Google it, Walter Yates. Call Darrell Bishop. He know it all. He knew about that, Walter Yates. I know you didn't know, but he knew about that. Check this out. There's nothing fair about that. Athletes who are promised an education and are lured by a chance to go to pros, but who often wind up with nothing, Kimberly Branch. Darrell Bishop, wind up with nothing. Then you heard the people talking about, the Fox Sports people talking about, well, it's a free ride. It's a free ride. They're getting a free ride. Jessica Brooks, working 40 hours a week, risking your health and safety to fight to keep your scholarship. That's a free ride. In football alone, Kim Jackson, your son gonna go play football. There are 20,000 injuries a year, including 4,000 knee injuries and 1,000 spinal injuries. Daryl, hope you got that. Since 2000, 40 players have died. I got to go D1. I got to go D1. Beyond football, a recent study revealed that an estimated 60% of D1 college athletes suffer a major injury in their career, and over half of them endure chronic conditions that last well beyond their playing days. Thank you, Landon. Plus COVID risk this year. Last well beyond their playing days. So who helped the players after they finish? Nobody. Y'all got to understand, I'm an NCAA dad. My son got hurt every freaking year. Yeah, unless it's your damn son, Rick. It's inevitable. But every fucking year? Every year he got hurt. Check this out. There's nothing free about that. Have y'all ever seen Booger McFarlane on the TV and he show you his hand? Y'all see how nice those hands are? You know, straight. Isaiah Thomas. They fingers look like the fucking alien, like E.T. Especially when NCAA, they even refuse to enforce the health and safety standards. And check this out, Rick. They even have denied in court that they even have the responsibility. And hold up. And about that education they promised, because our guest is about to come on, and our guest Jimmy is about to come on. I hope he don't beat the guest on. He invited the guest. Check this out. Daryl, thank you, Daryl. Thank you, Daryl. See, the guest to beat Jimmy. I got you, Gary. Check this out, y'all. About that education they promised. Let me help you. Black football and basketball players in the top 5 conferences. You remember they promised you education. They promised you a free ride. They promised you all this, right? Let me give you the numbers. Black football and basketball players in the top 5 conferences graduate at 22% for football compared to the other undergraduates. 22%. 37% for basketball. Lower than the graduate population. 22%, and 35% lower than the undergraduate population. Those who do graduate are shuffled into majors with watered down courses that conform to the athletic schedule to simply just to keep them eligible. That's what's going on. And let me bring Jimmy in first. Then I'm gonna let Jimmy introduce our guest, Jimmy. He's here. He's in the green room. Jimmy, I had something else for you. I got something for you. Hold on. But Jimmy, Gary Charles is in the green room, like I said, and you can bring him on at any time that you want to.
Oh, we got, and you know what I'm saying, what's going on, guys? Without further ado, you can fade me on in a little bit, Halla.
I got you. I had to get you right.
And,
I had to get you right.
On
there
this
you go.
Tuesday,
there you go. Okay.
Yeah, now we're good to go. We got one of the OGs, one of the dons of the basketball community. not necessarily just the grassroots community, but the basketball community. He's been he's been on and joined us for conversations a couple of times on the Chop Shop. And no matter where you go, from east, west, north, or south of this country, there's going to be his name has I guess has planted seeds. His reputation, his involvement with the basketball scene. He's also has produced and touched hundreds of players who not only went to, not necessarily talking about college, talking about that's the thousands, but hundreds that even went into the NBA sector through his guidance or under his tree. But without further ado, we have with us today, it's going to be a good conversation because now the Final Four is up. I mean, the March Madness is up on us right now. And as we go into it, there's been a success of a few African-American college coaches at the Division I level that we've seen make progress. We've seen overcome the odds. We just had last week, we had the head coach from Cleveland State on, right? Yeah. And he gave a hell of a sermon. Dennis Gates. And he gave a hell of a sermon as to his recent plight. Only been there 3 years. 3 years.
That was a bad job. That was a bad job. Yeah.
It's supposed to have been a bad job. People ask, why in the hell would you take that job? And he's taking now they're in the NCAA dance. It had me kind of nervous too, listening to him talk, and they got to play U of H first damn game. I'm kind of nervous about that, Hal. He might have a trick up his sleeve, but he's just one of many college coaches around the country that are on the rise, on the uptick. And you start thinking about something, just, I don't know if you mentioned it, Hal, but just this morning. And you just not tell you guys, pay attention to a lot of the people in mainstream media and just watch how they react when certain people of color get jobs. Watch how they act when they're promoting one of their own to get a vacant job or an upcoming job. Watch the energy. And then whenever in the situation we look at who was that? Somebody just got the job at what was it?
Can we introduce our guest yet?
Yeah, let's get Gary Charles. I'm looking at him on the screen. I thought we'd already queued him in. I thought they already see him.
No, they can't see him. He there, but we ain't introducing him. Guess what? Because I wanted to give, hold up, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gary Charles. Hold on.
I thought you had already, my bad. I said they see him on the screen, and I figured that already.
No. Now continue.
But what I was saying is Earl Grant.
Yes.
Just got in at Boston College. And I'm going to toss this to you and get your thought on this, Gary Charles. Jeff Goodman, here's what he posted on social media, right? This morning, within the last couple of hours. He said, I want to clarify something regarding Earl Grant. I'm extremely happy for the opportunity that Earl has gotten at Boston College. And I really hope he succeeds. I was just extremely shocked he got the job over alumnus Mark Smith, based on the resume and also familiarity with the area. Period. This is from Jeff Goodman. You know Jeff Goodman, Gary Charles. Been knowing Jeff Goodman a long time. I know Jeff Goodman, been knowing him for somewhat 20 years in the business, when he was beating the streets. Does that statement or comment raise your antenna at any point, to any degree at all?
Absolutely. So, Jim, I was trying not to laugh because you on a roll. You were about to go, and I said, Jimmy forgot I'm here. Because Jimmy was on a roll, right now. Am I right, Rob? He was on a roll. He was going for it, okay? And before I answer that, because I need to backtrack on something that he said a week ago, so then I can tell you about this week. So as you know, ABIS, Advancement of Blacks in Sports, we've been trying to bring awareness as to what's going on out there. We're not making that decision for you, but we do a hashtag, do you see what we see? Because we just want people to see things. So we put out a statement, a press release about McDermott should be fired. So he retweeted to me, I don't think he should be fired because Garrett, no one's seen a pattern. So I retweeted that pattern, question mark. Since when was that necessary for a black man to get fired? Second, have you seen what Justin Patton and Maurice Watson have said about him? Two of his most famous players. Check out their tweets as far as what they've been saying. That would tell you something. Here's the next thing. If you hit me over the head with a hammer, and then you tell me I'm sorry, I don't need you to hit me over the head with a hammer again to know that I have pain in my head. Okay? I am tired of people coming out with things to justify what they do to blacks. I'm tired of it because we don't get the same thing. So ABIS is making no excuses. We're not making excuses like, we're seeing what you see. Do you see what we see? Now, listen to what he just said. Because yesterday, as you said, he said, why did Earl Grant get the job? What's the situation? Did anyone say anything about my man from Nevada last year who got the job at Alabama? Do they ever say anything like that? You know, Richard Pitino just got the job at New Mexico. What's the connection there? All right. I don't understand this. There's never a problem for them, but subtly they always say something about us. And really, Jeff and I have gotten along, goodness. But like I said to Jeff, we're holding all of you accountable. ABIS is not taking back steps. So you say something, we're gonna come out with it. Now here's something else that you said, Jimmy. You said Dennis Gates is about to play against Kelvin Sampson. Two black coaches. There are 68 teams. You put the two black coaches against each other. All right. Now, in total, I think there are 12 coaches, black coaches, who are in the tournament. But right off the bat, the MEAC and the SWAC will probably be gone. So now you're down to 10. Now you have Dennis playing against Kelvin. So now you're down to 9. There's another matchup. I think, check Mike Boynton. So Mike Boynton is playing. I'm trying to remember who Mike is playing. I'm not sure.
He opens with Liberty, and then
that's two blacks. Okay.
Oh, Liberty coach is black?
I think it's the Liberty coach. I need to confirm it, but here's my point. I think it's Mike.
Well, they used to have a black coach just recently. Did he step down? It used to be
there's another brother. Yeah. There's another team that's doing the same. Two black. Now here's the other thing. Mm-hmm. If Leonard Hamilton win his game in Florida State and Patrick Ewing win his game, they play each other.
No.
Do you see what we see? So you are literally eliminating most of the blacks before they can even get to the Elite Eight. So I'm going to have ABIS, our racial and equity research team, check this for the past 10 years to see what's been going on. Because you know what? They just do these things subtly. Oh, we didn't mean it. This is just how it worked out. Oh, yeah? It's really coincidental? I don't think so. Because they don't do it coincidental to us. They don't. So you mean to tell me those were the only teams you could have matched up? No. So Jimmy, my antenna is up on a lot of things. Earl Grant had made our black watch list. And for those who don't know what our black watch list was, that we put it out. ABI's put out a list a couple weeks ago who we think the top 15 mid-major head coaches are who are prepared to become high D1, and also the top 15 assistant coaches who already become coach. Now, just so everybody understand, 15 coaches across the country voted on this, including grassroots coaches. So I don't want you to think Gary Charles did this. No, it was across the country, and this is what the list came from. Okay, so we want to be able to give these ADs and these search committees say, well, we don't know black. Well, here's the answer to the test. We're giving you the answer to the test. So you can't say that. So the people who are on, take a look at these names so you understand who they are. So Earl Grant was a name that people talked about a lot. He's earned that job. He's earned that. Like a lot of guys earned that. I'm tired of them talking about us. You know what's amazing, guys? Take a look at what Tulsa has done over the years. Okay, take a look at the black coaches they hired over the years who went on to be successful. Whether it was Danny Manning, whether it was Frank Haight, who's doing his thing right now. Just take a look at some of the things that they've had who have done okay. So why can't we continue to keep getting those same chances instead of you guys continuously hiring the same guys, white guys who have failed in other places? I don't think Richard Pitino had a chance to go to the bathroom, okay, before he got the job in New Mexico. Yeah. And I like Richard, so it has nothing to do with Richard. I'm just bringing up a point. I asked someone the other day about Carl Hobbs, and they said to me, well, he did this thing at GW. What did he do? He took a kid from a school that ended up graduating. I'm talking about a prep school. What was the difference between Tony Bennett doing that at East Washington? Tony Bennett's a Virginia. He took a kid from that same school. Other people took kids from the same school. Carl Hobbs went undefeated in the A-10. He took a bad job and made it good. He was coach of the year once or twice. And now he's banned for life from becoming a head coach? Really? But it's okay. And I'm not going to throw their names out. But it's okay for other white coaches to do all kinds of things and for them to continue to work. But not a black man.
And not a man. And Hobbs is just one of many. And now it's the season, the Final Four. Is normally when jobs open up. A lot of coaches are going to be probably saved by the bar because of the pandemic, and it's not as many openings as normal year because some
Jimmy, they just fired David Leto, our guy who's been on this show.
Hey Jimmy, I honestly thought in last September, because of the pandemic, well, I guess they're not going to fire someone. We actually, ABS was going to put out a press release to the NCAA say, listen, we get it. You're having this season because you cannot afford to lose money this year. We get it, okay? But let's be for real. Let's understand the psyche of these kids. Dave Leto's kids had not seen their parents since last June. Just last June. We get to go home as adults. It's hard for us. Now, I will admit, I've been kind of like camped in my damn house just staring out the damn window for a damn year, okay? But you asking these kids, don't go see their girlfriend. Don't go see grandma. Don't go see your parents. I want you to stay here. Do you understand the psyche of these kids?
Yes, sir.
I don't think it's coincidence that Duke didn't make it this year.
Yes.
Kentucky. Michigan State almost didn't. The Kansas was having a hard time. Kentucky didn't make it.
Yeah.
It's not coincidence. These kids are still 17, 18, 19 years old.
Right.
It's tough. So now you turn around and you're firing people. It's like, what? I tell people all the time, the easiest thing that we do is to coach a team down 1 point with 1 minute left. That's the easiest part. Let's be for real. Whether people want to admit it or not, we're the father, we're the mother, we're the ATM, we're the psychologist, we're the teacher, we're everything. All right? You play 30 games a year, but there's like another 127 days you got to go to school. What are you doing there? How are you making sure these kids are okay? People need to understand this thing. And this year was a real tough year. So to me, I thought this was the year everyone would get a buy. Here's the next thing. I thought nobody had money. I thought no one had money. So now you're firing these people, but somehow you're going to find money to pay the next people. But you said you had no money, and that's why you had to have a season. So which one is it?
Wow.
Come on.
And the buyout that is going to take as well for Coach Dave Leto and Billy Garrett, of course, is also on that staff. He's a guy from Chicago.
That's right.
Long time. Yeah, he's on, and you got to realize when they first came in there, he brought his son over there.
Yeah, they won with
Billy last night. Billy and I spoke last night for half an hour.
Yeah,
exactly.
And so now the search firm part. this is the topic where it becomes you're going to become professor right now to the class, and we're going to pull back the layers so people can really understand what's going on out here when it comes to a lot of these jobs. And I made a statement a couple of weeks ago, and here's my, as we as we get older, you start thinking about stuff. Final Four, it's not the same this year, but normally this time of the year is when they would have a lot of your corporate entities would have what they call industry parties. You would have some guys would do parties throughout the weekend, and the college coaches, you go to one party on a Thursday night, you're going to see guys you hadn't saw a while. You'll see some on Friday. Some of those same ones will be at the same party on Friday night. And you'll meet some more. And on Saturday, those guys that you saw on Thursday and on Friday, they've blobbed into the party on Saturday. So that means you're going to the same parties. Meanwhile, there's other people that's upstairs in the suites in the different hotels in different functions, creating relationships. And as they create those relationships, that's what yields the opportunity to be able to move things and move the needles toward a hiring of our people in this. I call it a profession, because that's just what it is within these college campuses. Search firms. We had one guy, I don't know how he's doing now, but remember we had him on the Chop Shop about 2 years ago, Hatter. He was the first, well, not the first, the only at the time Black-owned search firm in the country. And forgive me, one of you boom guys, Boom Room may remember his name, but I want to know how is he doing now with his quest, because we haven't heard from him, and out of sight was out of mind. Tell us about that.
His name is Herb Courtney, and Herb is still around. Herb is part of ABIS also. Okay. And so he's okay, but like he said, he doesn't get the same opportunities as the other search firms. Nothing different. It's always amazing that I don't care what the industry is, whether it's Wall Street, whether it's basketball, whatever it is, they just want to continue to keep us down. And, as I said to a lot of them, we're not trying to take over. We're just asking for fairness. That's what we're asking. We're saying to you that over 60% of our kids, Black kids, are playing the sports. So why is the numbers a little, higher? I am tired of the white man saying to me, I know how to deal with the kids. That's not true. Let me say this to you. I don't know what it is to be white. You do not know what it is to be Black. And I'm not saying that in a nasty way. You just don't. So you need someone that can identify with these young men every day. Because when the George Floyd situation happened or something else happened, now they don't know what to do. Now they don't know. Now they're calling us. So why don't we get that job to begin with? So that's what I mean when I say we're not asking for the whole thing. We're just asking for fairness. Like, to me, this is just a different form of slavery. What they have done is that they just went from the cotton field to the sports industry. They have found another way to continue to have us make the money for them. Now, I know people don't want to hear that, whatever. They never do, okay? I'm always amazed at how when you say things, people go crazy on you, and then 10 years later, they realize it was true. So why does that have to always take 10 years for it to become the truth? Like, I was around when I watched Muhammad Ali go through what he went through, or, whether it was Martin Luther King or Malcolm X, and so on and on. I can remember 15 years ago in arguing with some of the same sports people talking about kids should not get paid or what have you. And now I'm hearing them saying kids should get paid. Damn, I was arguing with you about that 15 years ago. Now you changed. So my point that I'm making is, why do we always have to struggle? Why is always a struggle for the Black man for us to finally get some sort of, equal opportunity? Now, let's go back to the search firm that you mentioned. You're right. They're up in a little street somewhere they're talking about it. You know what gets me, though? And I give them credit for it because they're sharp. Wasn't that the reason ADs were hired? Was for them to make a decision to hire a coach? Now, you gave it to somebody else. So now there's somebody else making money. Okay? You created, again, off our backs, you created another industry that you're keeping us out. And I know some people get upset with me. I'm just being real.
Come on,
okay?
Doc.
I don't know what you think. Okay? Now, you were an AD. That's what your job was supposed to be. That's part of your description. Yeah. Hired coaches. Mm-hmm. Now you have turned around and said, you know what? Let's create another layer for our white friends so they can make more money and keep the blacks out again. So now when they come to us, we can say, we're not doing it. It's the search firm that's doing it. Do you see what we see? Do you see what we see?
And you can take that a step and go a step further with it. And this is think about this, guys. Some of those search firms are the same search firms who hired the AD to get in that position.
There you go. That's the next step. That's right.
Should that be a conflict of interest?
There it is.
Not in their world. Jimmy, they want to be the judge, the juror, and the prosecutor and the lawyer. So we win whenever. We're gonna win.
And if we don't say something, no one knows. Like Jimmy, the statement that you just made, I bet you a lot of people just went and said, wow. Because you know what? You don't know what you don't know. So it's up to us to educate them. Okay, so like you said the word, hey Gary, we're gonna be the students, you're gonna be the professor. So let's educate. Because people need to understand what's going on. And Jimmy, you are absolutely right. So now all of a sudden, you just hired that AD. That position opens up. Position open up. Now you're calling the AD. Hey man, I hired you. Here's my people. I need one of them to get hired for that coaching.
They have a list just like the list that ABIS has. They have their own variation of that list. And here you go. Now you got the decision. We'll narrow it down to 2 or 3. Here you go. So that's the whole thing. But this is what's going on. This is why it took not why, but one of the reasons that Wichita State had to go almost a whole damn season before making an obvious decision to hire Zeke. All right. Yeah. This is why Texas State had to go. Say it again.
They didn't know what to do. Like, oh my God, this guy's winning.
That was the worst thing could have happened. I used an analogy last week with Hatter. I say, Hatter, somebody at Texas State made a Randolph and Mortimer deal on TJ. And we came in 3rd place last year. Texas State came in 3rd place. There's no way this Negro is going to take this team. Now, whatever we do, we're going to say, you know what? You didn't improve. You had your shot, kid. Beat it. He comes in 1st place. Comes in 1st place.
Games in 1st place. Okay.
And
dude, that's what I have to do in order to get the job. That's what I have to do in order to get the job.
I got to be super. I got to be super Negro.
Got to be super Negro, man. You have to be super Negro. And it's, I shake my head a lot. Look, guys, listen, I'm just going to say this to you all. I didn't grow up like a lot of, blacks have grown up. Things were always good for me. My parents were middle class. I grew up in the suburbs. And I think I told you I grew up with Eddie Murphy, Chuck D, Steve Mills. Okay, that was our little town. All right. We were like insulated. We were good. But I ended up going to all black college, Cheney State, when Coach John Cheney was there and Vivian Stringer were there. And I listened to a lot of stories and I realized, my God, how people have suffered so much. Now, for me, I will say to you, if I had to name 10 people in my lifetime that's been most instrumental, I would tell you 7 of them were white. I would tell you that. And if you look at our history of us trying to make it and things like pushing up, there's always been allies, white people who like, enough is enough. Here we go. And if you watch the march with George Floyd, you will see there were a lot of white people that was marching with us. I want to make sure I make that clear.
Yes.
Because that's important.
Yeah.
So even with ABIS, we have allies who believe in our mission and our cause. Okay. And to some degree, I get it to what the white man is doing because they don't want to lose their power. That's just the bottom line. Okay. They don't want to lose it. But like everything else, man, we got to kick the door in. We cannot give up. We have to show them. You have to guilt them before they do something.
What you said? Did you say guilt? Guilt them?
You have to guilt. Yes, you have to guilt them to make them finally to do something. And I think them watching George Floyd having his, his neck buried under a kneecap for 8 minutes, guilt a lot of them because they saw it. Listen, the three of us here know it's been going on for a while.
Yes.
But this time they saw it.
And what you said, guilt, it brings me back to that bloody Sunday when they made sure that they filmed the police dogs biting the black people. They showed the fire hose. It was by design to guilt them, to guilt President Kennedy, to guilt LBJ. And it was so unique. But you said something a minute ago, Garrett, that a stark contrast. You said some key. You said in your life, if you had to name 7 people in influence,
10,
7 of them,
white.
7 of them was white. And if I had to name 10, none of them was white.
How about that?
None of them was white. And I'm just sitting there listening to you, but my son and daughter, they grew up, their friends are white. Some of their friends are white. Some of their associates, as my son got a Negro wake-up call just the other day, this weekend.
Associates, right.
Yeah. So,
right.
But it's just unique that you said that, and I go, and and like I was telling him, I said, you grew up, you went to college, your roommates and your basketball team was white. Mine were black. So I never stayed in a white person's house, Gary, until 2017. 2017, the only night I ever stayed.
Wow.
In a white person's house and spend the night.
How about that?
And I thought about it. I thought about that afterward, when I left and me and my daughter were talking. And she said, Dad, she said, we do this all the time. But Dad didn't. So we got 2 different, think about this. 2 guys with 2 different backgrounds. You have that, and we sit up here talking and fighting for the same cause.
The same cause. And that's my point. You know what? It's amazing, Hatter, that you said that, because I remember I might have been 12 years old, and we went to a tournament, travel. And back in those days, little lad, in those days, you stayed at people's homes. And I stayed at a white person's home. It was all the time, actually. It was the first time I ever been on a horse. And it was the first time I got to pick syrup out of a tree with their son. I never would have done that if I just would have been black. So I remember those things. I literally remember going down to New Orleans, same thing, another little lad tournament with a white family. And they would actually live 1 block away from Pete Maravich, at the time. I still remember those experiences because I had a ball with them. So I never forgot those experiences. Like, they were good white people that was looking out for me. Okay? Looking out for me. And as you said, your experience is totally different, but we're fighting for the same cause. Now here's the thing that white people they say a lot. Well, why don't you guys create your own? Why don't you do certain things? Well, again, let me educate you. We had Black Wall Street in Tulsa, a whole town. And when you guys complain about us marching for George Floyd and burning a building or 2, well, your ancestors burned the whole goddamn town. So we tried to do things. Y'all burned the whole town down. You didn't just burn down a house or 2. Y'all burned the whole town because you didn't like what we were doing. Y'all did it in Rosewood, Florida. Y'all did it in North Carolina. See, those are the things that your people won't tell you. Those are the things that they won't teach in school, but they need to be. One of the things that ABIS is talking to people about is, why isn't African American history taught across the country? Because it's not just African American history, it's American history.
It's history.
It's history. So why isn't that taught? Because you know what? I remember the Holocaust. I remember, the Spanish history. Everybody's history but us is taught. Why? Because if you teach it, it can help people understand who we are, and we're not what you think you are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know, and I get that to a degree. I had a good friend of mine, my first job, white woman, and one day she came to me and she said, "Gary, you know what? I just gotta say this." It was me and another woman. She said, "I grew up in Kentucky. My father is racist. I had never seen blacks before in my life. I moved out here to Long Island. I got married, and she said, I met you. I watched you for a month or two now. She said, you're unbelievable. I now know blacks are not what my father said that they really are." Here's my point. You don't know what you don't know. So that's why it needs to be taught, because you know what? You're not born a racist. That's taught.
It's hard.
So they need to teach our history in high school.
And at home, Gary.
And at home.
And hope we have enough people. You know, Gary, I was talking about it one day. You said you don't know what you don't know. And I made a statement. I said, if you don't know nothing and you teach your kids, Gary, what you know, your kids are as smart as you.
How about that? How about that? How about that?
Jimmy?
I mean, it's, you know, we have
my bow tie, guys.
No, do your thing, baby. We know. Do your thing. Do your thing over there. Do you want to take a break?
You know, a lot of people.
Gary, we're gonna take a break. We'll take a quick break while Gary fix his tie.
Yeah, you got to get his tie right. No,
get his tie right. Hold on. Hold on. Welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, is in the building. His icebreakers is coming up this weekend. And Mr. Gary Charles of ABIS. Gary Charles, I gave those I gave the audience some information earlier about college, about the college sports and how college sports is so, disproportionate and exploited. And Gary, guess where I got part of the research from? On ABIS Twitter. They sent me to a TED Talk, and I listened to the TED Talk, and like I always do, I always take notes. And that's how you learn. And so thank you, ABIS, because I love TED Talks, but I was never directed to this particular TED Talk, but it gave me so much information. And I thank ABIS, and I thank you for being one of the founders, man. I appreciate you because I'm learning. Y'all, I'm just a sponge and just soaking up everything you give me. I appreciate it.
No, you know what? Thank you. And again, that's the reason why, one of the reasons why ABIS was created, because we're trying to educate. We're trying to let people see what's going on. And also we're trying to advance blacks in sports. to give them the opportunity. And so the more information we give, the better I think, we all will be. We're also going to try to start a financial literacy program. I really believe that high schools across the country are wasting some of the kids' time as far as some of the classes that's being taught. Like, I know for me that the idea that I took Calculus 1, Calculus 2, Calculus 3, what the hell is that for? Because that was the last time I used the word Sakatoa, opposite over hypotenuse and all that stuff. Like, we don't do it. Physics, I almost didn't graduate because of that damn physics. I had to go pay a girl off, like take her home every damn day from classes, for her to help me, and I think about those things. Like, why aren't we teaching, financial stuff? Like, how do you balance your checkbook? What does the interest rate mean? How do you get a loan? Why is, my credit score so important? See, I was able to teach that to my kids. And that within 2 years, they bought houses because I was teaching them. Again, you don't know what you don't know. So I made sure that they knew. And that falls under, financial wealth, okay? In that we need to start teaching our kids all those things in order for them to be able to, get ahead. We don't get that enough. And I just think that some of the curriculum in school is just like, why are we doing this, to ourselves?
Jimbo.
So ABI is trying to bring all things up, okay, and trying to create these programs, to help out.
And speaking of program, you got an upcoming project. I think in a couple of days, March the 22nd. I think you guys are hosting a conference on what the main topic would be: name, image, and likeness. And that's a topic that the NCAA is supposed to have made us believe that they self-imposed a deadline of mid-January where they would have made a determination on how they would want it to proceed with name, image, likeness as it pertains to these student athletes and their ability to capitalize on their own self. It's now mid-March. They've still yet to make a decision. What are you hearing on that?
Well, originally what I heard was that the Biden organization had told them to hold up because they want to get involved with that. Okay, I think that Jimmy, you had said something earlier, it was Jimmy, that there's a conflict of interest. So now all of a sudden the NCAA want to put the rules out for what the NIL should look like. Whoa, to say you cannot be involved with someone we already have, whether it's Coca-Cola or whatever. You can't do A, you can't do B, you can't do C. Wait, isn't this a conflict of interest somewhere here? That you're going to tell the kids what they can and can't do? Shouldn't this be a different board making those decisions? So I hope that the Biden people do get involved. I do know some of the congressmen are putting some things out there, and ABIS has been reached. They've called ABIS about some ideas, and we actually have a subcommittee for the NIL. That includes Michael Hausfeld, who won the NIL landmark decision with Ed O'Bannon. So he's part on there. We have Dr. Lloyd Martin, who's a professor down at LSU, and she actually is creating the African American history courses for LSU. Okay, she just named that, and she's also the faculty rep for the basketball organization down there. So my point though is we need people like that to talk about how NIL should look. And here's the other thing that really, really gets to me. I don't know why people always skip over the grassroots coaches. Okay, I don't know why. Because let's think about that. Some of these guys have been coaching these kids since they were 10 years old. Who really knows them better than them? I remember somebody was talking to me about, or maybe about some kid getting some NBA coach to work him out. And I said, listen, by the time these kids get to the NBA, they're already good. That's why they got drafted. NBA coaches now make them good. They didn't. Even the college coaches didn't make them good. They might make them a little better, but they didn't make them good. That's why they're drafting the particular guy. So when people tell me all the time, "Wow, look at Mike K, what Mike K is doing at Duke," and I'm saying, "Yeah, what? He recruited what? Kyrie Irving in the world? Well, hell, Kyrie was a bad boy before he got there.
Sure was.
So who did that? It was the high school and the grassroots coaches who were doing it. So why do they get keep being left out of the decision making? I don't understand it.
But people look on them, Gary. I want you to couple of people look on those guys, look down on those guys. I think our own community does too.
Because that's the way it's been portrayed. See, again, like ABIs keep saying, we have to change the narrative. We have to change it. So that's why if someone calls me up and say, Carl Hobbs or someone did something, I'm like, whoa. This guy did this guy did that, this guy did that guy's still working. I'm not going for that okie doke no more. It is up to us to change the narrative. Okay? So are there bad grassroots coaches? Yes. But guess what? They are bad teachers. They are bad cops.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. All right? We just watched a whole lot of bad people rush the Capitol.
Yes.
Can you imagine if there were blacks that marched the Capitol? Can you imagine how many of us would have been hung?
But guess what, Gary? They call those patriots. Some people call those patriots.
No, they call some of them patriots. Like, what? Again, they had the narrative, and that's what they did. We have to change that.
Gary, I came on the show about a month ago, and I was saying how important it is. It's two structures out there. It's a social structure, how they see us, okay? But we got to be more focused on the governance structure, how we see each other. We got to start seeing Jimmy Hicks and the Gary Charles or the Rick. We got to start seeing better in each other. That's why I said I don't like, in our community, we talk down on the summer basketball coach. We talk down on the guy who developed those guys that Coach K get. And we talk down. So we have to, in our structure, we got to, just like you checked that man the other day. Oh, whoa. You can't talk about Hobbs like that. Some of us, see, we go along. We got little old sects and groups. It happens here in Texas, all over the world. We got little groups here in Houston. They go over here and get to talking about people over here. And get to talk about, in the same basketball community. And hold up, Gary, grown ass men. So when we can ever it's how we see us gonna matter. How we see it. So we can stop when the gossip start, when the mess start. Man, hold up, player. Come on, player. That ain't who that guy is. And you said something a minute ago, Gary, and I loved it. You say you taught your kids how to buy a house. You taught your kids how to do this. And everybody don't know this. But I'm going to read this clearly. Because buying a house is very important. One of the greatest ways to build wealth. Case, don't let nobody else tell you different. White households, Gary, account for 85% of Americans' wealth, or $100 trillion. 85%. White household account for 85% of America's wealth, $100 trillion. Black households account for 2.9 of wealth, 4 trillion total. Blacks are 13.5% of the U.S. population, but own precious little. And we around here got our hands stuck out because we done bought, you got this. It ain't enough for me to have it. It ain't enough for Gary to have. We got to, I ain't saying everybody gonna be rich. Everybody, but if we got to start seeing black businesses different. Because if the black business is thriving, guess who gonna hire the people in their community? The same people who got the businesses, Gary. And we don't understand it. We just rather I don't know. I just don't understand it, but I'm glad.
You are so on point with what you're saying, right now. Those are the things that I was teaching my family about some of the things that you just said. Now, let me give you something else.
Okay.
Most of the wealth that a white person has is really in his house. Okay. So by the time he retires, the house is worth $800,000, whatever it may be. They take that money, they keep it moving, or they pass it down. That's what's called generational wealth. So they take some of that money, they pass it on to the other kids so their kids can get going. We don't do that. All right. If you go back and go back to the days when the Louisiana Purchase was purchased by us, right? Then they turned around and gave land to a lot of white people, told them to go to Oklahoma, all those places. They gave them land.
Yeah.
When we were free, they gave us nothing. So my point is that they got a chance. They were given help.
Yes.
So we were way behind.
Yes.
They didn't want to read. All right. Now, let's fast forward. And something else that you said. One of my biggest issues that I had is us. Let's stop killing each other. Let's stop talking about each other. Exactly what you just said. We look at each other different. Now, listen, let me just say this to you. And I want to say this to the white people who are listening. Okay. I love my black people. And I know this is going to come a little different, but I hate niggas. Okay. We are not niggas. You get what I'm saying? I can't stand that word. That's why I tell my kids I wouldn't let them use the word. Yeah. Whether you're white, black, whatever, you're a bad person, you're that nigga. Okay? It's not all black, so stop it. You're looking at 3 educated black men on your screen right now.
Yeah.
Right? And I tell people this famous story. I was coming from work one time. And by the way, let me back up. I worked on Wall Street for 20-something years, people. Okay? Yeah. And I'll never forget, you know, a media person killing a grassroots person. And I took out my card and I gave it to him. And he saw Gary Charles, VP, Wall Street. He was in shock. Okay? Now, I'm going home. It's late. And there's a white family, tourists. One thing about you come to New York, we kind of like know who the tourists are. You know what I mean? Right? So they're down at the subway. They're waiting on the train, the subway. The man was a wife, son, daughter. And all of a sudden, a black guy was coming. But you could tell he was bad news. And he was walking toward them. I got downstairs. I went and stood right next to him. Now, I'm not telling you I'm going to beat the guy up because not that. And the guy turned around and walked away. And people asked me, well, why did you do that? And I said, I didn't do it because they were white or whatever. I did it because it was the right thing to do. Okay? I don't want to see anyone get hurt. I don't care what color you are. We don't do that enough with us. We don't do that. I mean, we just got crazy. I watched a thing the other day on video. It was some man just turned around and pushed an Asian person. Boom.
Yes.
Why? Why? They created what we have right now?
Nah.
Come on. Doesn't make any sense.
They've been disinformed. Not misinformed, Gary. They've been disinformed, Gary. Disinformed. But you know what's so unique? I'm a question from, and I'd like to hear this from you too. Melvin Dews, a question from the YouTube page. He asks, what are Gary's thoughts on the new overtime league for high schoolers?
Okay. Great question. Well, here's the thing, just so everybody knows. I couldn't say it before because I had to sign an NDA. I've been involved with that since last September. They brought me on as a consultant. So literally, they asked me, could this work? They went through the gambit, and I couldn't argue against it because Sonny and I have been talking about it for 20 years. Sonny used to have a conversation with David Stern. People didn't even know about trying to do something like this back then. So I have been a part of creating it, including interviewing the general manager, which is Brandon Williams, and looking at who the coach is going to be, because that's going to be important, including let's talk about which player is going to have to. So I've been involved. And literally, I just got off an OT meeting before I got on here. So my point is, I think it's just a thing that its time has come, especially with the opportunities for the NIL, because these kids are going to get a chance to make money off their name. Here's some of the important key things. $100,000 is going to be set aside in case they don't make it for them to be able to go to college and take that $100,000, pay, for their tuition. They're still going to have to go to classes. So you're going to have professors teaching them every single day. But what this will be is that it will give them an opportunity to work out every single day, to hone their skill and be, to increase their opportunity to become an NBA player. So because of all those things, I was like, oh, okay, let's do this. Trainers are going to be part of it. Nutritionists. All these things. I've been part of this, like I said, a long time as to when we had 8 facilities we were looking at as to where should it go. So I'm all for OT.
But Gary, where is the revenue gonna come? It's gonna be televised. Where's the revenue gonna come from? Are you giving out? And you're giving out. I want that first. Where's the revenue? The business plan. I mean, I haven't seen it, and maybe you can't talk about it. But me, as a businessman, I'm thinking about where is the revenue gonna come from. And second, okay, go on. I actually
We're gonna say second. I'll wait for second if you want me to.
Okay, no. Where's the revenue gonna come from?
Well,
and
I heard they got some bags from some heavy folks around the country.
I ain't talking about the revenue to startup. I'm not talking about the startup company. I'm talking about where's the revenue going, the residual income. Where is the TV contracts? That's how the NBA survived. Where is the gates receipts at the arenas? Where that's gonna come from? That's what I'm talking about, Jimmy. I'm not talking about the startup part. I'm talking about those startup people who might want their money. Jimmy, if you invest in something, you're gonna want a return. How are the investors gonna get a return?
Okay, so but we do have to start with what Jimmy said. And Jimmy, you're right. There were some heavy hitters that invested in it, including Carmelo Anthony and people like that, including David Stearns, who had invested in
David Stearns?
Yeah, from before. Yeah. Okay. He was one of the OT.
Okay.
When OT first got going. So now OT has, I think it's, what is it? I could be wrong. Is it 2 million or is it billion views on their social media platform?
Okay.
So the sponsorship that's going to get created from all of this is going to be where the money is going to be coming from. So the first thing that you had to do, using Jimmy's word, you had to secure the bank. So now that you secured the money to make this thing work properly for a while, then you can grow it. Just like you said, the NBA, now you grow it. Now the sponsors come in. And this is how people get their money back. Okay, so look, it's like everything else, right? You take a chance and you hope it works. That's how this country is built.
All right. Okay. I like that. So
Yeah,
okay.
And that was kind of like, and I had heard that, from people that's, once you're inside of certain circles, you get in. I heard that part, and it's more so like how those views, somehow they got all the logistics and the analytics and the logarithms in place, because over time from their deal, they've found a way to churn their viewership, their social media presence. They're going into dollars, and those dollars are basically paying for the money that they're giving to those paying the salaries. They're going to find the name, because name, image, likeness is, in the sense that it means for the NCAA, it has a real truer meaning for this situation, because they're not amateurs, they're pros. These kids
they was talking about 16-year-olds though, Gary.
Right. So here's
Gary, how good do you have to be, Gary? Because I think this ain't for little Johnny. Just because he won a state championship.
No.
Who?
But is that any different than a good grassroots team? So let's say the Nike, Adidas, or Under Armour. Think about it, right?
Okay.
I used to say this line all the time to these kids that this ain't the PAL. This is not the CYO. This isn't for you. Okay. We're trying to get the best of the best. I think, in some ways, grassroots world has changed the way when Jimmy and I got going, in the fact that now you have the 11th man playing on some grassroots team somewhere. That wasn't like that when I first got going. If you weren't any good, you just weren't on the team. Period. So it's the same thing, you know, with this. Now, here's what I want people to understand.
Okay.
The same way NBA make mistakes, we're gonna make some mistakes. Because if this was the exact science, they you know, a lot of guys will still have their jobs. Okay, as far as who they pick.
Gotcha.
So we're gonna make some mistakes. So all we can do is go by example who we believe are the top guys. So, like, let's say for example, Dane Irvin is part of that. I helped hire Dane as a scout. We hired a couple NBA scouts with OTE to decide what do we think. The other things I've said, look, just because a kid is good does not mean he needs to be part of this, because you don't know what his attitude could be. You know, one apple could mess up the whole bunch. Okay, so you might turn around, I might be on next time to Gary. Well, why isn't so-and-so on the team? You know why? He's an idiot. That's why. Okay, and I don't want to have to say that, but my point is, we're taking all this into consideration. Here's the other thing we're doing. We're also going to take international players. We're not just taking our guys. So if some 7-foot international kid we know is pretty damn good, yeah, we're bringing them here too. All right. And so the idea is to maybe take 12 to 24 guys, you know, right now, and let's go.
I got you.
And the beauty,
Okay.
you know, and the beauty of it is that once they've done a couple years, we have nothing to do with their shoe decision. That's, you know, whoever wants to get it, we're not in that business. So we're giving you opportunities to make money in other ways. And we're not getting involved with the G League. So once you get done with your high school, you go ahead on.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, in the past, you mentioned the Sonny Vaccaro had conversations with David Stern, with USA Basketball, and they had from what I understand, I heard they had a powwow or a meeting of the minds about a similar concept a few years back, and sort of to create a basketball academy, I think at the time, because of what the narrative that was being pushed around the world was, these Europeans, they're coming into the NBA, they're going to take all your jobs. We don't know how to shoot. We can't play. And had everybody scared shitless for about 5 years until, and I really was watching it from the end. I say, it didn't make sense. Because to me, if those kids were so much better than our 16, 17, 18-year-olds, and I was saying this, I said, well, why our kids always kicking their ass at the FIBA games, or at the, you know, at the time when they had the Nike Hoop Summit and whatnot? I said, well, why are we kicking their ass so much then? They got to combine all them kids together to beat a fraction. We divide ours into 4, north, south, east, and west, and it's still competitive. But back to this meeting that did not take place. What derailed it? Because I heard that at the end of the day, nobody could get an agreement on what the product endorsement would be. And that was one of the things that, because you had Adidas in the room, you had Nike in the room, then you had AAU was even in the room on top at the time. The guy that was the president of AAU, that's a whole nother topic right there.
Hey, Jim, Hatter, you know, it's funny. One of my favorite lines from Jimmy Hicks was that, I don't know if it was the last time I was on, and Jimmy made a statement about ABCD camp, and Hatter, I think you said something like, well, why did I know? How come I wasn't involved? And Jimmy said, because you weren't in the loop, okay? You weren't part of the loop. And I always remember that, and I laugh because it's true, you got to be in the know. And so Jimmy just now, he's right on. Jimmy was in the loop, okay? So that did happen. Okay, Jimmy, you know, Jim, it's always a tough thing to get people to agree, you know, on things, okay? It's just a tough thing. And again, at that time, understand the time also, were parents and was the public prepared for this? Or from a PR standpoint, would they have gotten killed? Again, think about 10 years ago, how people felt about NIL. Think about it 5 years ago. People are like, what are you talking about? Are you out your damn mind? Now, everyone believes like, oh, this is wrong. This is wrong. It's time for the NIL. Timing is everything, is my point that I'm making, okay? Now it's the time for it.
I got something for y'all. This just happened, hot off the press. It just sent me something that said, LeBron James is set to become part owner of the Boston Red Sox pending MLB approval, per Mike Silverman. He and Maverick Carter joined Fenway Sports Group as partners, making them the first black partners in FGS history.
Obviously Magic had done that with the Dodgers. And so to me, it was a matter of time before someone else did it. And I think we could all agree LeBron was the next one. We could probably picture it to be that. It was a matter of where could he go. So I think it's outstanding.
Yeah.
Because the reason that as blacks in sports that we have a lot of issues we had is because the owners are the old boy network, so to speak. Okay. And that they're more comfortable with their own. I just thought honestly by 2021 it would have changed, but it is what it is. So until some of us can become owners, we're gonna continue to keep going through something. So I'm proud of LeBron and guys. Let me just say this, okay? And I know it's off topic and it's something that people are gonna be like, here he go. Who's the best that ever played? And you know what? I judge who's the best in different ways. I've never felt that as blacks, we had the luxury of just playing the sport and nothing else. So this is the reason why I think I am so proud of what LeBron has done. And to me, in my world, he has surpassed Michael because it's not to me just basketball. It's because of off the court stuff that LeBron has done. Building a school. Muhammad Ali is my number one all time because he gave up 3 years of his career. Who does that? He gave up all that money. And now he is the most beloved. But back then he was the most hated, okay? And as I see LeBron, what he's doing, he never shutters away from making a statement. I hated when Michael used to do that because Michael was the most beloved person in the world and he wouldn't stand up for us. There are stories that I heard that just makes me shudder. But now as far as basketball, there's nothing better. But my point that I'm making is as blacks, we've never had the luxury of just concentrate on that. Michael, I felt, could have made some changes for us just by saying things. When things happen, LeBron's one of the first person to stand up. And I'm so proud of that young man because I've watched him since he was 15 years old. So that is the deciding factor for me. Okay? So you making that statement about LeBron just becoming a part owner? Come on now. That's awesome. He's opened up doors.
Awesome.
Indeed, man. I mean, that's hey man, we can rap all day, and of course Gary Charles right here, and the thing we were talking about the overtime in the league that they've creating that's going to launch in what 2023.
Actually, I'm not supposed to say a lot because we have people that's supposed to talk, but in September.
Okay. So the class of 2022 and on watch. Now, grassroots this summer, a lot of people they see you now and they've heard of you now, may not know you were one of the founding members of the what was known as the Fab 48 tournament in Vegas, and which attracted a lot of the college coaches that was in town in Vegas already and moved up in that joint, and it was rocking. What are you hearing? Do you think college coaches will be able to go and evaluate in person this summer in grassroots basketball?
What's interesting is that I've had a lot of the top teams call me for Vegas this year that they're coming. And Jimmy and Hattie, you guys know, the goddamn top team never call you. They'll call you maybe 2 weeks before saying, I'm coming. They won't do the roster. They won't do the damn thing. You get what I'm saying? They're calling me. So the fact that they're calling me now tells you what's going to happen with the mom and pop. So I think that Vegas is going to explode regardless. And I want people to understand that 2 years ago when they shut it down with the college coaches, we still had 600 teams. Okay, so now this year, people are ready to go out. And with the president saying that everyone should be able to take a test by the end of May, So I have even more enthusiasm as to how it could be. Now, Jimmy, I will say this to you. I'm real curious to see how your event is gonna, pan out. All right. Because everyone's got to figure this out. And from a selfish standpoint, because our tournament, which is July 21st to the 25th, we won the last ones. So it gives us the opportunity to see how everyone is making it, what happened, and what we need to fix. So I'm really going to be watching yours, because I think yours is the first, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, that I'm going to be paying attention to. All right, and see how it turns out. Now, back to as far as the coaches coming out, I do know some of the coaches on the executive committee would like for it to be live. They would, because as most of the year it's been dead for them. Whether the NCAA turns around and do it, I don't know. They keep talking about it, so anything is possible. Right now, but I'm just doing my thing the way I just do my thing. So, as you know, the name has changed to the Big Time tournament. So anyone who's interested in participating is www.bigtimelasvegas.com. And I'm going to say this. I think this thing's going to explode. So if you come late, and I may have to tell you, I'm sorry, I'm full. I'm just saying it right now so everyone knows. Because if you're like everybody else, you prepared to get out. You want to go. So I'm hoping that the period is live. I do know some coaches definitely want it. The NCAA, sometimes takes, a little longer than usual to make the right decision. So we'll see.
And
Gary,
definitely we'll see.
Gary, I love you're a guest. So and I know we're pressed for time, but I love that you like LeBron James, but I still for the same reasons that you said you like LeBron James, I still gonna always have Michael Jordan as my number one choice on and off the field, because I've been blessed enough to know the things that he's done off the field, but he just don't have a media company to tell us everything he does. But
you're not wrong.
Yeah.
And that.
Yeah, like, I just letting you know.
Listen, let me ask you a question. Somebody said this to me. Mm-hmm. How many times have you talked to some people, white people, and they talk about who's the best white player? We're the ones that do this to us all the damn time.
Yeah.
If you tell me you love Michael, I'm going to say, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to tell you this. We can make an argument that maybe it should be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah.
So to me, if somebody says that to me, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
We're good.
I like all of them. Hold on.
I understand.
Yeah. Hold on. I gave think about this. Michael is on my Mount Rushmore, often on the court, right? But I talked about LeBron James' accomplishment. I didn't come on here saying nothing about Michael's accomplishment. I just gave y'all broken news about whom? LeBron James and Maverick Carter. So it's enough for all of us. Thank you, Gary. It's enough for all of us to win. It really is. Because saying something great about LeBron, that didn't stop me from liking Michael.
There you go. You know what? If there isn't a Michael, there isn't a LeBron. Yeah. So I can't. If there isn't an Oscar Robertson, the guys like that, the Magic, there's no Michael. So to me, none of those are wrong.
Right.
Like
that's
people
good.
Oscar Robertson did. All right.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a good point. That's good.
I just pride my man what he's done. That's just my bottom line.
Me too. I love it. All right. That's good.
Yeah, man.
Jimmy, what you got?
Yeah, I mean, indeed. And of course, thanks Trey Phillips. He just posted the link, and right on cue, the NCAA, according to on CBS Sports, they've just released an article, and that claims that the NCAA, one of the committees, is set to recommend that the dead period end May the 31st. Now, that doesn't mean coaches will be able to come to live events. That means they will be able to go and do have on-campus visits, and they'll be able to go and probably do home visits, and and see kids at their school. But school will be out for most at the end of May. So some people still be in school in June. They can go, and that's what that would mean. There would probably be they call you have a contact period, and then you have an evaluation period, or you have a dead period. Those are the three in regards to that. So the glass is appearing to be half full for a lot of these prospects out there. And lastly, I wanted to get you on that topic, Gary. On the East Coast, you know, you guys were on the front line of with prep school kids, unsigned seniors playing 17U. Y'all were the front to, I mean, from my perch, my view on the perch, it was the first of doing it in masses. Then so now what's the vibe like with knowing it's a backlog? Because a lot of the college coaches are recruiting out of the portal, and rightfully so because of the pandemic. Everybody can come back and get another year. What's the prep school kid now who've already done a year after high school? What is he gonna do now?
Jimmy, it's a conversation that people keep talking about on a regular basis. You know, Jimmy always got some stuff, boy, I tell you. And but those are facts. Okay, so here's the deal, right? These prep schools, as you said, these kids went to prep school so they get another year of experience. And one thing that I have always said, and I'm not going to change it now, I've always said that I don't care who you are as a kid. When you go play somewhere, wherever you go, by the time you're a junior, you should be able to compete against any player in the country because you're older. You should be. I'm not telling you you're going to be better, but you should be able to compete. Your confidence should be like, yo, freshman, you're not coming here just killing me. You should be able to compete. So now all of a sudden, as coaches, you got a chance to get some of these kids off the portal. You damn right. I'm going after them first. Okay. So now these kids coming out of prep school, they're out of luck. They're in trouble. So meaning that if you're not at the top, you're going to have some problems. All right. Because do you want to stay in high school, so to speak, for a whole nother year? Or are you going to go somewhere? You're going to lose a scholarship. A lot of these kids are going to lose a scholarship. The pandemic has affected everyone from, top to bottom, everywhere. So there's that's why I feel so bad for a lot of these kids. And Jimmy, I think about these kids who graduated, can't find a job. All these things go through my mind. So yes, Jimmy, it's definitely going to affect these kids in that if you're the bottom feeders of prep schools, you're in trouble because now those kids in the portal and the kids, not necessarily as much as the kids in the portal, but the kids who are able now to have another year, you're in trouble because they're taking your spot.
So Coach, how is it anything? So is nothing that can happen to help them? What do they do? What do these kids do, Gary? And all your infinite wisdom.
Yeah. So, what's interesting is for me, as I've said that I may allow like a prep division in my event, okay, just to give some of these kids opportunity.
Okay.
So that's one of the things that's going through my mind in doing. I just got to make sure that I have enough room. And all of us have to think about doing those things. Because you know what? It doesn't affect one, doesn't affect two. It affects a lot of kids. And if it affects them, it affects us. And we need to understand that. It's the same way as I talk about generational wealth. As Blacks, we don't talk about generational wealth. And so with this right here, we need to understand that. Stop thinking it only affects one person. It affects us all.
Yes.
So we all need to be in this game together to help our people out.
Yes.
So if there's an opportunity for us to go our event and just have, 16-team tournament or 18, whatever, to help them out, let them play. Okay.
But Gary, if it's nowhere for them to play, if there's nowhere for them to play, I'm not talking your event, at the college level, still what they gonna do? They can go to your.
No. Now here's the thing.
Okay.
I will say the reason I'm saying that for us to let them play, is because in my tournament, even though it was dead, I watched Paul Biancotti and the Clark Francis of the world, the Dane Irvins of the world, all of them saying, "Wow, I didn't know about this kid. I wasn't sure about this kid." And now they're able to call coaches, and then the coaches had their spot, and now those kids end up getting a scholarship. So all I'm saying is that with some of these kids, we might need us now because now the graduate season is about to start.
Yeah.
That instead of them not being able to play the rest of the year now, because they would be done, maybe create some events for them so they can continue to play.
Okay.
So coaches can see them
Okay.
And then now maybe they could get some. Now, here's the other thing, guys. Keep in mind that a lot of schools end up with 2 or 3 walk-ons on the team. So now you don't have those walk-ons. So now take those kids. That's why I'm saying we allow them to keep playing. And now the coach can say, you know what, I can take that kid, okay? Like, kid, I may not have a scholarship, but you're gonna be my walk-on or whatever, and then you'll get a chance the following year. We have to be creative. We have to think outside the box.
I got you. I like that.
And indeed, and that's the key, thinking outside the box and with this stuff. You got to be creative and innovative in this stuff. And because if you're waiting on them to be able to open the doors for us, then we in trouble. So that's why it takes so much going out, thinking outside the box. And as you mentioned, you're right on the mark about the unsigned senior prep division, because that's exactly what I did at the Spring Icebreaker. Every year I used to give an unsigned senior showcase. So that was the name. And I think people started using it all around the country. We called it unsigned senior showcase like 18 years ago. People didn't do that back then. So now people started coming to me and how do you remember this? People was asking me, hey, what are you going to do about the unsigned senior showcase? And I was really feeling some kind of way about it, because me personally, I like selling a good product. I like my basketball events to be blue magic. So I don't want to be sitting here with an event knowing that the junior college season didn't start to January. It still ain't going to end to April.
Yeah, right.
And I'm going to have an event, and most of the kids playing don't academically D2, D3-ish. They're more so JUCO-ish. If JUCO coaches can't come out, that means we don't have 24 or so coaches on the sideline. Those optics mean a lot to that parent that's know they're on the last leg. They're at the end of the rope. The clock is ticking, and they're for their babies to get in college or possibly for free or next to free. So I said, man, I can't do. I just don't feel comfortable doing that. I don't feel comfortable taking their money as individuals, and they come in the building and tell them, oh, we're going to stream the games live. Yeah, okay. But that don't mean people watching. Junior college is traveling. They playing on Saturdays. That means they're traveling. They don't travel by charter flights. They're rolling in vans.
So that's another problem. What is the solution?
What I did was I came up with a senior division. People didn't realize the names. That was purposely crafted.
The coaches still can't come out though.
Yo, but what happens is the coaches can't, the JUCOs can't. Some of the other ones can, Howard.
Okay.
So, okay. But the JUCOs are the most of in this part of the country, because we have so many JUCOs in Texas that it don't take much to make a nice crowd. But now what it does, it takes financially, it's easier for Mario Ellie to put a team together with his son on it and put 7 of his buddies on the team. And they each for the entry fee is whatever the entry fee is, they only paying $50 a piece, as opposed to they coming as their own paying $100 a piece. And now you get Mario Elias. I'm just giving an example. He coaching his son, which is easier. They get to practice on their own, as opposed to you coming to me as a straggler and I got to put you on the team like at a camp and you don't get the ball right. Now your mom walking out of there bad because we put him on the wrong team. This is more effective this way. And I'm thinking of that. And that's why I named it 12th grade division. But on those teams, there cannot be no underclassmen on those teams. That means you're a 12th grader, you want to play 17U or the equivalent of that, 11th grade, then you can. That's on you. But if ain't no 11th grader playing in the 12th grade division, this is for a certain caliber of people. You can be 24 years old if you want to, as long as you still call yourself a postgrad and you hadn't enrolled in college, you can play. Yeah, and that's what we're gonna do with it.
Exactly. And that's exactly right. And that goes back to what I was saying about outside the box. So that's great. And the rest of us have to think the same way. And that's why, I love the fact that we're last, so to speak, because I get a chance to watch, everyone. Just like I used to tell people all the time, people say, hey, I want to be in the invite division. Hey, my man. Okay. I want to be the president of the United States. Okay. So here, go prove it. Let me see what you do the rest of the year with your team. Like I tell people, I have criteria. You have the established program. They're going to be good. So let's not fool ourselves, right? Let me see your schedule. Who did you beat? Okay, and then at the end, we'll make the decision. But you can't just call me and say, put me in an invite. It doesn't work that way. So I like see, Jimmy, you and I are on the same page as far as helping some of these kids out. We have to adapt. That's what we have to do. We have to adapt and do the best that we can to help them out.
That's good,
Well,
man.
we appreciate it, man. It's time to land the plane on this day. We can go all day rocking. Tell them how they can follow and get those videos and those direct, and also watch the class that's on the 22nd of March about name, image, likeness. A lot of people want to know about that. You got some heavy hitters on that broadcast, right?
Listen, Jimmy, it's no joke. What's amazing, Jimmy? You know it better than I do. So, Jimmy, you announce it, man. That sounds good. I like the way you were just saying about our event. So, talk a little bit about our event, Jimmy.
Well, I know Sonny Vaccaro. I know is one of them, and you mentioned a couple of the other ones as well. By heart, I know Ed O'Bannon I think is one of them, right?
Yep.
I don't have in front of me, but
this is gonna be powerful. It really is. It's gonna be powerful. By the way, Terrell Myers is gonna be on there from We All
Terrell
One.
Myers. Yeah, yep. Brother. Yeah.
He's gonna be on there. Also, we're gonna have Dr. Tamika Ferguson, who is gonna be our MC, so to speak, down from VCU. There's some powerful people with some powerful voices. Dr. Ellen Starowski, who actually testified in the Ed O'Bannon case. She's gonna be on. Tim Nivius, who represents some of the collegiate kids and helping them out with their NCA. He's gonna be on, discussing this. This is gonna be, really, really good.
Wow.
But yes, it's March 22nd, and people will be able to see it on YouTube. I think we have it on YouTube, all over social media right now. Jimmy, what you got down there?
Gary, I'm looking at it. I'm sitting here now. I saw it briefly. Oh yeah, name, image, and likeness. So the topic is name, image, and likeness. You got people from all over the sports spectrum, not just sports too. You got a Tamika Ferguson. What is she gonna do? She is a holistic development of college athletes and development expert. So she's gonna help guys understand how to develop your image. So then you got an entrepreneur, Dr. Butler. You got Terrell Myers. I saw him. Then you got an antitrust and regulation expert on here, Dr. Hal Singer. I mean, oh yeah, okay. Oh, and then you got Tim Nevis. That's the guy that I saw on a TED Talk.
There you go. There you had Tim.
Oh, this is gonna be awesome. Huh?
I had to tell Sonny, this ain't gonna be your show now. Gotta give somebody else a chance.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna be tuned in. So it's virtual? It's virtual?
It's virtual.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely. It's virtual.
Yeah. You got heavy hitters,
we definitely appreciate it, man. We definitely be sure to tune in. I'll be hopefully have my legs up under me on next Monday after this doggone event. But we want to thank you guys.
I'll be watching. Good stuff.
Oh man, hopefully it'll be okay. It'll be okay.
Jimmy, will that revolution be televised? Will it be televised?
You guys know there'll be game streams. It'll be nice. You already know how we gonna rock with this thing. Matter of fact, I might have to go call my DJ and see I'll get my DJ out here to spin some stuff.
And
get that thing jumping.
Since the college coaches ain't going, I just got a question. Since the college coaches not there, the hospitality room is it gonna change?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
We're not. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not going to. You got to realize, Sandra is only a month and removed from major surgery.
That's right.
We can't have all. It's not even smart to force people to come into a room like that.
There you go.
Knowing they have to get demasked.
That's right.
In order to
That's right.
drink.
I got you.
You can't force that's not a smart thing.
I like that.
So we're not going to have the hospitality as most people know it. They'll have a snack bar, and those proceeds go directly to the schools.
Okay.
All the private locations where we are. Let's go and support them. We're not, we're gonna stay well.
That makes sense. They're showing me you're responsible. You're being responsible in your event. That's all.
Yeah.
And Gary, did he tell you about you can get a COVID test before you can go in the gym? You can get a COVID. You're still doing that, Jimmy? You can get a COVID test.
They just text. I got a Zoom in 4 minutes at 2:30 with the crew on that.
Let's get out of
here. That's going to be Mark. And guess what? Remember I told Gary, I'm turning them on to him.
Oh,
yeah, I'm turning them on to him. You know, I want to. You know, I'm the type I want to see it manifest visibly first. They've talked about it. Let me see it.
Hey, Gary, you still got some of my money. I bought so many Fab 48 shirts when me and my son first went out there because I kind of liked the shirts. I didn't know it was Gary event, but I said, I kind of like this tournament. I still got those Fab 48. This to 2009, Gary. 2000. Hey,
my daughter just called me before the show. She said, Daddy, I was watching, what is that, the last Chance U basketball, Netflix. She said, Daddy, there's somebody walking around with a Fab 48 shirt on the show.
Got mine. I'm going to wear it next week on the show. I'm going to wear it. Hold up. Gary, think about it. This been 8 years. I still can fit it. That's the crazy thing about it.
Now you're looking good then.
That means you bought it too big. That's all that means.
Man, get him off. Let's get out of here.
Shit. You can't fool us. We know you see him right here.
Man,
man.
Jimmy, get up out of here, man. Please, man. You guys know.
All right.
Oh, man, appreciate it, man, all the time, man. That's Gary Charles, guys. Make sure you follow him on social media. And of course, the ABIS, follow that too, that entity as well. Yeah. Going to be doing big things, and we definitely behind them all the way on the Chop Shop. But it's time to slide down Dino's back and yabba dabba do this thing on this Tuesday. Hey, man, see you guys in 22 hours. On behalf of Robert Haller, this Jim X. I can let my lid down now, baby. It's time to go get this thing popping. Pop. Chop Shop. We up out of here. Yeah. Peace.
All good, fellas. Thank you.
Jim Hicks. Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop.